listening to us right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM, and we are the radio with a difference, and we're covering you from coast to coast this evening. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Lall Show, where we tell it as it is, and of course, tonight, as promised last Monday by the man of the moment, he will be taking your calls, of course, your questions, your concern, whatever you may have. You feel free to shoot it to us. But before that, he will make a few remarks, and after which he'll open our telephone lines. We are 226-7453 and 226-7454, 622-2222 and 624-6456. A gentle reminder when you call on us to please lower the volume of your device. If not, we will disconnect you. With that said, sir, namaste to you. And I've noticed recently that you've gotten a closet makeover. I must congratulate you.
Were you talking about my shirt?
Yes.
I had this shirt a long time, Josh. I thought you were talking about the powder. You want to embarrass me like that, right? Yeah, it's good to put a little powder now and again on your face. One girl asked me if I want to borrow her lipstick too.
Oh my God.
Oh man, you're pushing it a little too far there, my friend. I'm not going to use. I used to use chapstick. When you're in the cold countries, you use a chapstick. It makes you look like lipstick. But it's a good thing. Josh, I'm glad that I can come here this Wednesday to listen to some of these concerns and some of the comments. I'll be happily try to answer some of your questions, because it has been, over a year and a half.
Yes.
I've been doing this program. And I think it's time that I give the listeners the opportunity to weigh in with their questions. You must have things that are bothering you, things that you didn't get very clear. So I like to see how much I can elaborate on some of those questions you have lingering in your minds. Before I do that, just let me take a few minutes to tell you that the opposition leader, Aubrey Norton, had a press conference yesterday and read from a statement again. He talked about what was happening in the various communities of our country. He stressed on the cost of living, fuel prices, and foodstuff going up. He said crime, and he talked a bit about crime too, and his party's plan to develop communities. Well, when I heard he talk about his party plan to develop communities, that is what took that is what irked me a bit, I should say. And I should ask Mr. Norton, with what are you going to develop communities with, Mr. Norton? You're going to carry plastic bag with couple chana and some rice inside, and that's what you're going to develop communities with? He talked nothing about what he plans to do with the oil or Guyana's wealth that is being given away in a wholesale fashion to every Tom, Dick and Harry, including Darren Woods, the man that is heading the oil Exxon. How are you going to develop these communities you're talking about? With what, Mr. Norton? These are questions, you guys have to ask these people when they come around your neighborhood, when they talk about developments. My reporter, Miss Harris, my reporter had to ask him, told him that countries like the United States, UK, slapping one-off taxes on oil companies. Would the opposition support such a move locally? What a beautiful question, my reporter asked him. He told my reporter he has to speak with the AFC leader first before he can make a pronouncement.
Wow.
Hear that?
Wow.
Yes. He got to speak with the AFC leaders first before he makes a pronouncement on that. Uncle and auntie, I didn't say namaste to you people, but allow me to say namaste with peace and love in my heart to all of you. An opportunity exists for bringing money to develop the same communities he's talking about. And hear what this leader, the opposition leader, saying. He got to ask the AFC leaders first. Wow. Here's something else. Guyana recording the largest discovery of oil and gas in the last 20 years. Hess Corporation, Exxon partner, is considering to move away from all their other investments, including the United States, their home country, to focus their energies and monies in Guyana and Suriname. The man told his shareholders that with the addition of the second FPSO, Liza 2, pumping out there now, their cash flow is growing by 25% a year. $1 billion they will be getting on every FPSO they put out per year. The man said how they're going to add more ships every year in this land. To make more money, you hear the kind of money, 25%, 40%, and in some cases the man said 50%. And we leaders talking about what? Developing communities. Uncle, just think about what I said there. He boasting that their cash flow, the Hess boss boasting about their cash flow increasing every year by $1 billion on every ship. Yeah, man. What are your politicians boasting about in Guyana? Norton saying he got to, what you got to do again?
You got to consult the AFC.
He got to consult the AFC. When you think about these people, sometimes you don't even want to wake up in the morning. Trust me. You just want to stay home and play with your grandchildren then. Or have a good gaff with your neighbors. Uncle and auntie, today the Vice President, Bharat Jagdev, had a press conference. And as a member of the press, I just pick up my vehicle and drive there to ask him the questions I wanted answers for. 4 hours of my day finish with that press conference, from 1:30 to 5.
Wow.
Vice President was behaved very nicely, very cordial, and so was I. There was no fighting. Driving back to the office, Uncle, after the press conference, I told my staff that I carried with me. Only the Creator can help Guyana now. I will be speaking about it on Friday, about this press conference on Friday. The only thing, Miss Harris, that lit my heart up during the press conference was one question I asked him. When the nation will see the gold, diamond, and bauxite contracts signed by both governments and the concessions granted to the foreigners. And he said, and I'm smiling here, Uncle. Some of you could see me through the radio, I'm smiling. The contracts are with their respective agencies. You just have to request it, Glenn. Well, tomorrow morning, I will request them. So by Friday, I will be able to tell you who got what and who getting what in these contracts signed away to these foreign companies. All right?
All right.
Should give a round of applause to that, man. That was good. Great. I like that. I like that. The discussion during the press conference, Uncle, was very healthy. But after listening to our Vice President, I have concluded that the Vice President, the government, and the opposition needs a lot of help if the Guyanese people will have a good life with the resources they have. If not, Uncle and Auntie, like I said before, the Creator have to help Guyana and help all of you. Uncle and Auntie is a tough fight. When you have an opposition and a government banding together, selling out your country together, how do you deal with that? Nothing these people do benefits we the people. So much so, Uncle, that sometimes I ask myself, if I find myself in the right place at the wrong time or the wrong place in the right time. That questions bother me a lot, you know, Miss Harris. Whether I find myself in the right place at the wrong time or the wrong time in the right place. I am ready for your questions, your comments and your concerns. The phone lines open. It has been going on for over a year and a half that I have been sitting on this radio. So I think it is time that we have this interaction. The phone lines open, 226-7453, 226-7454, or you can WhatsApp your questions to 62222 or 624-6456. Let me tell you, the protest continues in front at the Square of the Revolution. And I am still to get some assistance from you people with the passages of the people who come there to protest on a daily basis. Lunch or a snack, a good soup, is being given to those protesters every day. From the gentleman that owned Back to Eden, Mr. Ginger. I want to say thank you, Mr. Ginger. It came in very nice to keep the protesters shouting and hollering, we want a better deal. So, I'm getting a first call. Let me take it. Oh, cut off.
226-7453, 226-7454, 622-2222, and 624-6456. Those are the numbers you can call us on this evening to questions, concerns.
Your questions and your comments.
And your comments as well. You can also
and
comment.
Your concerns.
You can comment on our Facebook page.
You're live on the air, sir. You're live on the air.
Oh, Mr. Grant?
Yes, go right ahead with your concerns or your questions.
Man, as you say that you never know back to China. Only God to save us.
Go ahead, let me hear you.
Everybody against us. We don't have leaders, we have politicians. So we're going to fight them with body. In the court, the word John Peter, the citizens must take these people them to the court.
Well, the courts can work too. But the courts call for money. If I get some money, I am willing to challenge them in the courts on everything. But I need money now.
And then we see how much of us.
I had to beg two friends to give me some money to take the tax matter before the court. 3 of us alone.
You don't contribute, they never want their name mentioned, man. You
That's
have to
okay.
get that.
Nobody has to give me their names. Like I said, 2 friends alone with myself were able to put together some money to give the lawyers. And it's nothing big we give them. They actually, the kind of work they're doing, if we were to pay them, I had to pay them like 10 times the money we give them. So they are also helping out.
I told you over and over, we do not have an opposition, but I still want to know if that man is the opposition leader. You keep calling him opposition leader. Is he an opposition leader?
Well, that's what we have.
He's the leader of the PNC. That man can't be leader for me, opposition. That man is the leader for PNC.
Yeah, but whenever you're done,
He's the leader for AFC Ramjatan. So how he, as opposition leader, would have to confront Ramjatan? The opposition leader is better than a leader for a party.
well, the opposition leader,
So you
The opposition
give this man a
leader-
wrong portfolio.
One
This
second.
is not the portfolio.
one second. The
At least
opposition,
we never vote to be the opposition leader.
man, give me
That man is on board.
a second, please.
You talk about going in village and give people China and this. He not talk on those ceremony and welcome them thing.
Just
Just give him a second to
That
explain, sir.
Opposition leader. The man got to get can and take a chance people crack and them thing on. The man got big mouth just to love to
Thank
talk
you.
foolishness.
Thank you. I must tell you, my friend, that he is the opposition leader
What do you twist it or turn it?
because we have a coalition, right? They are a coalition of many parties put together, to which he heads it. Ramjatan has been elected the leader for the AFC party. So when he says he have to consult with the AFC leader, you can't. We just gotta wait and hear what he says next, because he promised to consult with the leader. All right. So let's give him that leverage, that opportunity. But I must tell you that one of my friend confronted Aubrey Norton last week Wednesday in Plaisance at a karaoke, and asked him why he's not out there with Lall at the protest. And he said, "Oh yes, I support Lall 100%. But he's not coming out there." I just let me share that with you, so you guys can form your own opinion and get an understanding of what we have or who we have as leaders in this land. Let me take this next call in the meanwhile. So this is what happened. Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. You're live on the radio.
Good evening, Mr. Glenn, lads. I want to ask you a question, Mr. Glenn.
Go ahead.
If I tell you you're selling guns to the Apache, why me?
Go ahead.
What I'm asking you, I addressing you as Mr. Lall, you selling guns to the Apache.
Yes, you're selling.
Do you know what really I am telling you?
Yes, you're selling guns to the criminals.
And you're selling guns to the criminal.
To come around you.
You're selling out. You're selling out because when these Westerner was invading, these Indians, you had people in the same group was giving the Apache weapon.
Yes.
So the colleagues was telling them, yeah, you're selling out, we man.
Exactly.
These Indians, instead fighting us with Arambo, you're giving them guns. You're selling them out behind we back. That exactly is what the present ruler doing with the opposition, doing with we Guyanese.
Yep. I agree with you.
The next thing I want to ask you, tell me, man, you're talking about these contracts you would get it. I put in me head on a block. You ain't getting the real contract to see. And please don't don't, if it's a fake contract, please don't give it out to the Guyanese people. We need the right one, the truthfully one that they have secure.
All right, hold 1 second.
And
Hold on the line. Hold on the
one
line.
more thing before you talk.
Hold on the
Tell
line.
me, tell me, Mr. Glenn Lall, if these gold mining people, if they get £100 gold, I want to ask you, we ain't getting 45 pounds or put it 40? I just want to ask you though.
All right.
You know the percent for 40 or 45.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love your contribution. Thanks. Anything else?
No.
All
I
right.
would listen you off the air.
Thank you. Thank you. This is what I want to hear, man. This is, you know, when people can call and talk like this, it gives me great pleasure to come here. I can come here every day. If you guys want me every day, Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturday, even Sunday 7:20, I can come and sit down and let's have this discussion. I love it. I love to hear that passion in your voice. I'm happy because you know what? I know you guys are beginning to understand what is playing out in this land.
We have a call on the line here.
Hold that call of me. Let me answer the gentleman first. Take it and hold it. All right? The gentleman talked about giving the fake contract. My friend, I don't think they would want to go down that road because I'm going to tell you this in secret. Don't tell nobody. I have some of those contracts already in my possession. It's just that I didn't want to talk about it. All right, so they can't. I just want to get it officially. I got them already. All right, so don't run away that they will give us anything. They will have to give us the right contracts. This way you can see. You talk about how much Guyana getting. Well, the contract will tell us whether we're getting 40 ton on every 100 ton, or we're getting 2 ton of every 100 ton. But most importantly, my friend, these people get these concessions and contracts, taxes and concessions galore, and the big question have to be asked here, who is monitoring them? You hear the question? Who is monitoring the man that you put in your backyard fetching out you mango, in which you supposed to get your 2% or your 40 ton or 50 ton? Who's monitoring them? That is the biggest question. The contract is one, but who's monitoring? Who's watching out? Who's looking over for us? Who is looking out at the oil meter there to know how much oil is being pumped on a daily basis? That's the big question. This is why when I say Guyana needs help and really need help, if not God Almighty have to help us. That is what I was talking about. That's the kind of help we need. That's the kind of guidance we need. How to monitor, how to overlook, how to find the loopholes in which we are being robbed. Let me have the other call. Take it in.
Hello, good evening. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Lall. I'd just like to say that I've been following you since last year, and I want to say thank you to actually sticking your neck out for the whole of Guyana. There have been some times that I would have passed and saw the picketing and the protest, but I cannot. I really want to come out and join, but I cannot because I am young. I am looking for meaningful employment in these times, and when Exxon blacklists you, it's hard to find a job after that, when at least meaningful employment. But if there's any way, anywhere else out of the limelight that I can support, I would gladly support.
Can you hold on the line?
Yes.
Exxon do not have job for you, my friend. The oil companies out there do not have jobs for Guyanese. Guyanese got to get part-time job like what Jack Dale them talking about. 10-day part-time job a month. That is what you have to get. There's no job out there. Exxon already have their own people. Okay? And the kind of jobs Exxon have out there, you have to be very skilled to be employed out there. If not, you'll be sweeping the platform or the rigs. That's the kind of job you'll be getting. So don't fool yourself in thinking that there's jobs out there, my friend. There's just few jobs out there.
No, what happens is that not when Exxon blacklists you, it's every other player that comes into Guyana that it's just has to have the simplest of ties to the oil sector. You're blacklisted.
You're living in too much hopes and fear, my friend. Drop this chuppiness. Drop it.
Yeah. But what I actually caught is that it's a bit confusing for me because is that I'm seeing that we're supposed to be a 50-50 partner with Exxon, but Exxon on a yearly basis, Exxon declaring all these billions in profit, and so far I haven't seen Guyana reach $1 billion. So and that's just profits. So and this minus expenses, this and profit expenses revenue. So and Guyana didn't even receive that amount in revenue, $1 billion in revenue. So it's kind of confusing for me, and I don't know if you could touch up a bit on that because I'm trying to put it together, and I frankly I can't.
It's not confusing. It's very simple, my friend. We are getting the wrong end of the stick. That's what we are holding. Okay? The people are making billions, and you just getting a few millions. And the few millions you're getting, they already set to take out all to throw in the 2022 budget to thief out $3/4 on projects.
Yeah.
Projects.
And another thing too is that I would have watched on DPI's page, they had that ad where they were a video where they were talking about the gas to shore and all the benefits, and 90% of the time all they spoke about is energy and electricity from the gas. But we know that this gas, there are many things that could be done with this gas. There are many other things that we done with this gas, because I know I would have spent a stint in Trinidad, whereby with conversion to us, we were paying like $400 or $500 when it's converted to Guyanese dollars for a bottle of gas.
I'll be speaking on that Friday. That was a beautiful question asked to our Vice President today, and I'll tell you what he said Friday.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Lall.
You're welcome.
And keep up the good work.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thanks.
You know how the oil money going to disappear? They're building an abattoir to slaughter animals, and the engineer estimate, we contractor, Guyanese contractor, working with the government, said $470 million for build the abattoir, and they only get one person submitted a bid to build it, and he bid $651 million to build an abattoir.
My goodness.
Oh boy. And that will be passed. That will be passed. That contract will be given to him. That's over $1 billion. $1 billion. $1.15 billion. Yes. To build an abattoir, uncle. 10% salary increase, that is, for every public servants. Them a build one abattoir for slaughter animals. Man, with that money, I can build 3 abattoirs to meet the international standards in all 3 the county. Not with the 651 million. With the engineer estimate of 450 million. You hear that, my friend? What happened to the calls? What happened to the...
I have some questions here.
Bring the questions.
we got some
let's get it.
questions.
There are three questions.
Yeah.
Why is ring fencing important?
Why is
Ring fencing
fencing.
important.
ring fencing important? The importance of ring fencing. Wow. That's one of the most important questions. That question is just as important as our royalty rates and the taxes we giving away. That's how important that is. That ring fencing provision prevents the oil companies from further robbing you. Okay? Ring fencing curtail them. If you have that provision, it curtails them. It's like you have you have a mango tree that is bearing, okay? And the man who's picking it, he has to take out his expenses and the money he spent for pick the mango on that one tree,
Yeah.
right? Without ring fencing, the man can go spend money anywhere and throw them in the mango tree cast. That's why it is so important to ring fence that mango tree. It's basically you're putting a fence around that mango tree so that no other costs can come in to that mango tree.
Yeah.
That mango tree must pay its expenses and share the profits.
Yeah.
Nothing must come in there, okay, to hamburg you full profits. Every cent that throws into that mango tree reduces your share. That's how important it is. And this is what Jagdeo is not securing for Guyana with each one of these projects. Liza 1 should have been giving us our fair share of oil profits. But instead, Jagdeo allowed them for spend on Liza 2 and Liza 3 and all the money coming out from Liza 1, shortening our shares.
Yep.
Okay? That is how simple and important that is.
Ring fencing is, yes.
You understand?
Yeah. There's another
I
one
have
here.
Sorry, one follow-up question with that. Is any money coming out from Liza 2 now that it started producing?
Yes, money coming out from Liza 2. Let's start producing. Money has to come out for the cost, the investment cost, and the expenses. Plus money is coming out from the bills that they're spending in Payara and the Yellowtail and everywhere else they spend.
Yeah.
You understand? So every mango tree, money coming out from elsewhere. This is why the ring fencing provision is so important.
Yeah.
It's shortening your share.
Exactly.
And if that keep continuing, you know what will happen when you meet Liza 10? The oil will finish and you still owe them because bills will be coming left, right, and center from all over.
You would have accrued some
Everybody
debt.
is saying, and people don't even have to say this, international experts don't even have to tell you this. Man, common sense will tell you. Each mango tree should be able to take care of its own costs and give you your full profit. You understand what I'm saying? That's a beautiful question. Thanks for that question.
So we have another one this year. When we hear Guyana is the fastest growing economy, how do we calculate our growth?
That's a good one.
All right. Guyana, the fastest economy, fastest growing economy. How do we
Calculate our growth.
calculate the growth? Very nice question too. That's a beautiful question. A country, uncle, is measured by what you're producing. You understand? All right, let me give an example. We were not producing oil back in 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
So our measurement was below of what it is today.
Yeah.
Because we were only producing little gold, little diamond, little bauxite,
Bauxite.
little sugar, little rice. But now because we start producing oil, okay, they add the oil that we're producing to the overall figure. You understand? So this is how they measure the growth of your house, of your village, or your country. That's how simple it is, man. They measure it. And they put that is correct. They write it down and tell the world, well, Guyana producing 10 billion US dollar per year in 2021, when before oil we used to produce $2 billion a year.
Yeah.
You understand? So this is how they rate you. This is how they measure you. You're growing by what you produce. Okay? But, like I said many times, we're producing these things and we are growing, which is correct. The country is growing on paper because everything is going out of the country to the foreigners' pockets and bank books. That is what the international body that is doing these measurements is not telling your country. You understand? You're growing, but they're not telling you the money.
The money.
Is not going to the people of the country. But when they say you're the fastest growing economy on earth, you understand? The world think and say, wow, these are rich people in this country. No, uncle and auntie, you're not rich because you are not getting it. That's a lovely question. You are not getting it. All the mango, every 100 mango that come out your house, 98 gone away in the white man pocket and the Chinese man pocket. You, the brown and black people and purple people in this country, getting 2 mango only. So you are not the fastest growing people. Although the country is the fastest growing country. It is growing for the people who are fetching out your wealth. Thanks for that.
I have one more when you.
1 second, let me take this call. Good evening, sir. You're live on the air.
Good evening, Glenn.
Good evening.
Abatawa na matag pala yung puli kaulay niya come out back the meeting tin.
No, my friend. The abattoir is just killing these animals. And keep and have
the money where you call it your puli kaulay for the animal life.
And it come out in tin
Yeah.
with the money up top. With the US dollar up top.
Candy.
My friend, when you see these things, you hear me? When you see these things happening to this country, sometimes you're lost for words as to what is happening in this country. You know? $450 million for build one little building with a little concrete block pushing little steel for tie the cow and chop the cow neck or the pig neck. My gosh.
The mobile telephone.
The money they're spending on abattoir alone, I don't know if they would ever recover that money for building the abattoir alone from the export of our pig and our cow in the next 100 years. But thanks for that call. I'm glad you say, yes, like it coming out ready-made to eat. It come out cooked too, you don't cook it. Yeah. Yes, you say you had another question.
Recently, it was reported that each Guyanese owes ExxonMobil $9 million US. How did we agree at this? How did we arrive at this?
Oh boy, that was a question today. Myself and the vice president had a little chit chat on. And can I talk about that Friday, please? Because I would like to play the vice president answer to that question I asked him. So let us don't. Let's do it so that the people can hear.
No problem.
Okay, because it's sad. It is sad. It's a very important question. You know, legitimate question. A question that everybody should worry about. You know, we should all worry about, because that same money, that same investments can take us to our graves. You hear me? Without even mud to cover the grave. if we don't watch that.
Yeah.
So let's deal with that on Friday.
No problem.
Ready for some other question?
Yes, go ahead.
Someone says here, we keep hearing terms like cost oil. What is cost oil? What is royalty? And how are they calculated under the Exxon contract?
Okay. Cost oil. 1 second, let me take this call and then answer that.
Okay.
Yes, sir, you're live. Yes, hello? All right. Let me
Cost oil.
let me deal with this cost oil. Cost oil, uncle and auntie, is very, very, very simple. Cost oil has to do with my investment in your backyard and the expenses I spend on a daily basis to pick the mango. When you put the two of them together, the expenses and the investment I made to buy the truck and the ladder and the engineering and so on, plenty other expenses, is called cost oil. That is what they take out every day. 75% of every day when they pick, and then they share the 25 left back as profit, half and half. So cost oil is your expenses plus the investment made. Did I say it clearly?
I
All right.
think so.
Royalty
Yeah.
Royalty is completely different. Royalty comes from the top. Royalty comes with no cost whatsoever. None. Your royalty, if you pick 100 mango, 2 mango belong to you without any cost attached to that. So you must have 2 mango because we get 2% royalty. That is royalty. If you get 20% royalty, you get 20 mango out of every 100 without any cost. There's no cost to that, uncle. Am I simple here? So royalty comes with no cost. Royalty comes with a percentage of what you're supposed to get. Guyana settled for 2% royalty. So we get every 100 barrel of oil, 2 barrel of oil belong to we. We don't got to pay nothing for that. That is what we agreed for. Some countries like the United States agree at 18.75%. So it's 18.75 barrel of oil goes to the United States Treasury on every 100 barrel come up when the day come. And you don't have to pay anything out of that. The 75 barrel, they take out costs and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And then they share profit. Okay? So we're dealing with profits.
Yeah.
That deals with expenses and investments.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Royalty does not have any expenses or any investment. Very simple, very clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I hope, and if you're not, if you didn't get it, you can call, you can text back or ask the question again.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then the person says, Jagdeo has said that the Kaieteur project will save Guyana millions, but you do not seem to agree with this reasoning. Can you explain your side of the matter?
Well, it's nothing to reason about. It's nothing to reason about. That is one of the questions, that is one of the chit-chat we had today in the press conference. And let me talk about that on Friday, please. Okay? It's nothing to differ. It's a straight story. The gas to shore plant they are going to put at Wales is not healthy for this country, and Guyana will be in debt and in serious trouble if that project still goes on. That's what I'll say for tonight. But I'd like you guys to listen to him. And then I can I can give my comments after. What other questions we have? Thanks for the questions.
Remember, you can call us on 226-745-324, or you can call us on 622-2222 or 624-6456. You can also WhatsApp call us or send us a WhatsApp message and we will read it.
Yeah?
Why? You have a question here from someone that said, why not Mr. Glenn should have asked Vice President Jagger today at the press conference is why is the government paying the taxes for ExxonMobil?
Why we are paying taxes?
Yes. Why he didn't ask Vice President that question?
You know,
He's taking them to court.
If-
That's why.
no. If the person were listening, they would have seen and they would have heard that there is only so much questions you can ask.
Uh-huh.
Okay? But I did try to ask that question. That was the last question I tried to ask. And the press conference ended. But there are thousands of questions just as important as that one to ask the Vice President. Right? But time do not permit. And if you hold press conferences every day or every other day to talk to the nation, then all these answers will come out very clear. But that's a very simple question to answer for now. But I'll talk about it on Friday too.
All right, no problem.
That tax giveaway was signed under the coalition government,
No problem.
under Raphael Trotman. He agreed to that. That Guyana pays Exxon taxes for them. So what do we do? And this administration can bring about that change, can reverse that, but they're not doing that. Instead, they're fighting me in the court to prevent ExxonMobil from paying the taxes.
That's true.
So that answers the question to a point.
Yes. Caller, good evening and welcome. Go ahead and make your presentation or your question.
Good night, Uncle Glenn. A lot of people want to support and come out and protest, but a lot of people are very much afraid. Nobody don't want to be the next crummy wing.
That's so sweet of you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But let me say this. In life, if you don't stand up for something, you're going to fall for
Yes.
anything. And let me tell you this. Let me go a little further and tell you this. It's all about your belief. You see, if you have beliefs like me, you will understand that nobody can remove you. Nobody could take your life away except God Almighty, who gave you life. So there's no untimely death on earth, my friend. Okay? Get that and understand that, my dear. Nobody can remove you, remove me, Joshua or Harris from earth. So let's don't go down to that. I understand Cromie Wing lost his life. He was my friend. I supported him. I protested with him. I fight alongside him. He was fighting a cause. And he died for a good cause. God Almighty took him. Alright? And if God Almighty has to take me tomorrow morning, so be it. Don't shed tears or cry over it. I played my role. Every one of us are here playing our role on a daily basis. I always say that I am carrying out His function and not my will. Alright? And once you have that belief, you walk this road. Man, you traverse this world just smiling and having a good time. I don't even look behind me. I walk with no fear. I live with no fear. Why? Because I understand, I believe that only Him can remove me from it. So drop this fear. Drop this fear. Walter Rodney fought a good fight and bring about tremendous change. in this land. We should be thankful and grateful for that. Cromwell did the same. Plenty others fought a good fight. And the fight that I am carrying, the fight that the supporters out there that are protesting is carrying, is a good fight. Join the fight, man. What, they're going to kill all of us? You think God Almighty will allow them?
If we all stand up,
Wait, let me ask
I
this.
believe that we all can do it.
You think God Almighty will allow us all to go wrong like that? No, man. No. No. Don't live like that, my friend. Come out. Come out and stand up next to me. Let me give you the strength that I have.
Okay.
Thank you
I
so
was
much.
there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks.
So I have three very good questions, and I will ask you one by one, and you after you finish your answer, I will ask the other. The first one says, Mr. Lall, your newspaper has spent a lot of time advocating for full coverage insurance. Can you give us an update on the efforts thus far in this matter?
The full cover insurance, our Vice President spoke about that today again. And again, he going around in circles, trying to kerfuffle the nation. Again, he says he is asking to see if ExxonMobil can come up with a 2 billion assurance. Now, with that type of attitude, we're not going to get anywhere. And that's a fear I am living in for not only Guyana, but the region, my friend. Okay? You see, when you have, Josh, when you have leaders who don't have love, who don't care, who don't have the understanding of what they're doing to a country, okay? Only fear kicks in.
Yeah.
And those are the things I am fearful of. I'm not fearful of dying or getting injured. No. I am fearful of things like this. And this is what that caller should be afraid of. You know? An oil spill out there.
Yeah.
The disaster Guyana will be in. And the region will be in, my friend.
Living in punishment. in
That is
hell.
what we should be worrying about. And that is what you should live with. Fear. It's like living with your neighbor children playing with matches and gasoline next door to your house, and one little miss, your house can go up in flames. What becomes of you? Ask some of the people that in which their homes would have burned down. Ask them what they're going through. Feel the pain they're living with. Some of them ran out the house with a bare vest on their back. Find out how they're living.
Yeah.
And then you will get an understanding of where Guyana can end up. Even worse than that. Because that family house alone burned down. In the case of not having proper insurance to cover the damages, man, we will be in debt, uncle and auntie. Debt. Because the house, it's not only your house is burning down. Your house will cause fire on the next house, or maybe the entire village, just like the entire region. Then you will be left, and your children and future generations, to fix back the other region houses or your neighbor houses. That's the dilemma. That's fear we should talk about. And I'm happy for that question.
Can you explain to us what is meant by relinquishment and what does it mean for us Guyanese?
Relinquishment? Not a beautiful question. Man, I love these questions. I should come here without any program to answer these questions. Thanks for that question. Relinquishment comes with the contract, uncle. The laws of Guyana states that if you give up a piece of land, a gold land, an oil block, every 4 years, you must give back 20% of it if you're not using it. If you haven't done any work on the land. That's what relinquishment means. You have to relinquish it, a portion of it, part of it, a percentage of it, which is 20% every 4 years. Some of those oil blocks, Kanuku, Kaieteur, Kanji, Borbis, Demerara, and the rest of them have already give up 20% of the oil blocks they have. Kaieteur oil blocks supposed to give up they're supposed to give 25%. That's what the contracts say. Since February this year. And we haven't heard a word from it yet. I think Mr. Jagdeo talked about it today, in which he says he's looking into it right now. As for ExxonMobil, that has the most valuable oil block and the biggest oil block, them have 600 oil blocks when the law only permits one license for 60 oil blocks. Them get 600. They were supposed to give back 20% of that 4 years. But the coalition government under Winston Jordan and Raphael Trotman, they changed that. They changed that to 7 years. So 7 years, they have to give up 20% of the unused block. So now we can get it back and we can resell them. We can get signing bonus. We can get production bonus. And we can make so much money from it. Because you already give them away. So we got to be thankful. But our government, and let me tell you this too, that if Kaieteur News don't write about these things and bring up these things, all these things your administration is not looking at. Like I said earlier, if the opposition and the government do not get exports help, you know, if they don't get exports help in this oil sector, uncle and auntie, man, can't eat your dinner.
We're doomed.
You're doomed. And that is what you should be fearful of, my friend. These are the things we should be fearful of. We have a set of leaders, both in the opposition and the government, and instead they work together, you know, put their heads together, bring in people, bring back man like Vincent Adams to run the EPA. This country will not get anything. Mr. Jagdeo talked today about the EPA granted permission on the Kaieteur oil block and said, and hold it back. He put a hole on it. Now, Kaieteur News reported that. Wake him up to that. That's why he could have used the press conference to talk that he put a hole on that. He saw that, and that is wrong. And he don't know what is going on with the EPA head. Well, I want to believe that from him. You know, I want to believe that. But I don't. I don't. And I'm being honest from my heart. I don't believe that. He knew exactly what's happening. He knew everything that's going on. But he's just trying, you see, he's trying to say the EPA head may be sleeping. If you bring back Vincent Adams, nobody will sleep.
Today, Exxon announced turning in a profit of $132 billion.
Yes.
Do you believe this figure?
ExxonMobil. Before I answer that question, ExxonMobil said I made, not ExxonMobil, EEPGL. That's the subsidiary companies of Hess, Sinop, and ExxonMobil. The three children working out there for Hess, Sinop, and things. They declared $132 billion profits. Uncle and Auntie, I must tell you, Exxon share price is the highest since 2014. Since 2014. Not from nowhere else, but from Guyana. Guyana. Yes, that's how their profit shares jump up. But back to the profit they declared that they made. That's a sweet thing. That's a beautiful question. That's a lovely question. And I'm running out of time now. I don't want to answer that question now. I'm going to answer that question Friday. Please, I have a beautiful answer to that question. And I have a lot of things to add to that question. And it has to do with what our President of the United States, Joe Biden, spoke about. Man, it's a beautiful answer. They declare $132 billion profit. By the way, that's not US dollars, you know. That's Guyana
dollars.
Right? But it's a superb question. That's a superb question. I talked a little about it in my editorial room this afternoon. But I want to elaborate on it on Friday.
No problem.
Yes.
My final question to you, what is your assessment of our watchdog body, the Environmental Protection Agency, and its performance?
Oh boy. You know the watchdog body, the environmental, the EPA.
Yes.
Do I have to answer that?
Leave it for Friday.
The EPA
Does the EPA
is the
even know
one
it's a watchdog?
is the one responsible for securing this nation
Really?
and the environment.
EPA.
Secure this nation. And I'll tell you, I am not saying it. They're supposed to secure insurance for the country. According to Jagdeo, he took it out from his portfolio. Right after he was asked that question a couple times.
Cherry
He
picking.
realized that question will not go away. Right? So what he did, he threw up on the EPA. He said that's a question for the EPA. The EPA has to look after the environment and make sure that if you have a disaster out there or an oil spill out there, them have to ensure that we have full cover insurance to take care of the disaster. He threw the question to the EPA. So the EPA is responsible for the flaring. The EPA is responsible when the vice president wants to take himself out. When he wants a gate, when he wants an open gate to run away, he run out, lock the gate and say, hey, the EPA deals with that.
Scapegoats.
Yes. The insurance, he left it for them. Hold on. But the flaring, when he approved the Lisa 1 permit the other day, he said he was proud. He was happy to announce that, oh well, I was able to garner a $5 more from the mess through flaring. He take that. He take that. You're live on the air, sir, and you're the last caller. Go ahead. Yes.
Good night.
Good night.
Turn down
Turn your radio down.
Money for
please.
the
Turn your radio down. Turn your radio down.
money for bill. Alright, hold on.
Go ahead. Come on, guys. You gotta turn your radio down if you're gonna call us. You have to do that, man.
Yeah, man, it's on the radio.
You're too much of a smart man not to know that you have to turn your radio down. Don't do that next time. If not, I'll cough you through the phone. Go ahead.
Sorry about that.
I hear you,
Sorry.
man. Go ahead.
The money for the avatar. You're sure you're not to build 3 avatar in 3 regions?
No, man. No, man. Don't do that. You talking about abattoir, my friend? You don't see the money these people spend for build schools and hospitals, man? These guys have no shame. And guess what?
The avatar got to be on state of the art avatar because you got to put the cow in life and you go come out, the meat come out in tin at the end.
Yes. One caller said that already. No, it's coming out with US dollar. You're coming out with US dollar. You put the cow in live and at the end, US dollars coming into Guyana. By the billions, not millions.
By the bubble billions.
Or Baba billions like the Trinidadian guy. Do you have that tape there? Could find it?
Yes, we do.
I'd like to play that tape, man. That's a sweet tape. I love to listen to that, man. You know, you can hear the anger and at the same time hear the wisdom in the man's words. How he cussing his prime minister just not to come to Guyana to get we will for he people. Right? So my friend, they are not doing that, you know, and I was just telling you that even the opposition not saying a word because they did the same thing. Every project these people do, Uncle, is 5 and 10 projects you can get out of them. You hear me? Look, today the Vice President said that the Amelia Falls project will have to retender because the Chinese people have money. I was smiling in my heart as he was speaking.
Exactly,
You know?
your heart and soul.
The same Chinese.
I was listening.
I want you to listen to me, man.
Answer the question.
Yes, the same company can't find money. He wants to tell us the same company don't have money to build the hydro, but the company can find money to build roads in Guyana. The same company building the $190 million Mabura Road. Oh boy, oh. And building other roads in this country. You see? Listen, man. Listen. Simply put, when they see they can't get their way out on a project, they abandon them and come up with some flimsy excuse to kerfuffle the people's head in this country. Because they know that most of the Guyanese people do not understand. And let me tell you this, most of the journalists, you know, it's sad to say, but most of the journalists, the reporters, they too doesn't understand. And like I always tell my reporters and my editors, it's okay not to understand. I agree and I accept. You understand? Because if you weren't born in business like myself, it's difficult to comprehend these crookish and conniving deal. So I don't get upset. I don't get upset with them. You know? But I want to advise them that they need to pay more attention to what is happening, because at the end of the day, their pockets are being shortchanged. Not only the Guyanese people. Alright? I want to play this tape, man, as you talk. You find it? I just want to play this tape. Listen to this tape carefully. Play it. Go ahead. Thanks.
Doubles and coffee. So our neighbors, Guyana, that the whole world is fighting to get next to Guyana. Guyana, where the greatest resource base in the world has just been and continues to be discovered daily. Guyana, where billions of US dollars over the next decade is going to come out of the ground. Guyana, who's now moving into the realm of energy, natural gas and oil that we have been involved in for over 115 years. Trinidad and Tobago have been experts. We've developed a cadre of support industry, services, businesses, experts, engineers, chemical engineers. We know we have the people. Forget government, private sector. We have the people constructing platforms, drilling, experts. And because Keith Christopher Rowley, a childish, a puerile, immature, vindictive, narcissistic idiot, is in charge, and because he don't like the government that won the election, because he sent his people, Narciscope and Andrew Gabriel, across there to support the other team, to get involved in a nation's sovereign democratic election, one election that might go down in history as the greatest debacle in democracy in the Caribbean. And Rowley was on the wrong side. Rowley was invited by the government of Guyana to attend an energy conference. Guyana is energy. Guyana is the future. Guyana is where opportunities lay for our people. And because of one man's childish inability to accept losses, a man's vindictive, immature nature, all of us in Trinidad and Tobago, especially when we at our worst, our lowest ebb, our oil production is down, our gas production is ridiculous, our negotiated upstream price is making NGC make losses for the first time. The government has forced the board to ask for indemnities. The whistleblowers have been removed and PNM sycophants have replaced them. Our energy sector is in total shatters, tatters and gone. And Rowley does not have the maturity to go across to create opportunities for us, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Nobody cares if he as an individual is myopic, selfish. Nobody cares, but he's the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore, by his ignorance and vindictive nature, we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, the people who are in the oil and gas sector, the experts who would like to get opportunities over in Guyana to continue to thrive, to make profits and to create jobs, to create a symbiotic relationship between Guyana and Trinidad, our expert, our intellectual capital, we have less opportunity, if not no opportunity, because of our leaders, our prime ministers' vindictive, disrespectful nature. And how much of this are y'all going to take? So that man watching billions of dollars for you down in the Southwest Peninsula, you down in San Fernando, you in the fence line communities after he shut down Petrotrin. And he shut down those opportunities because he disrespected the government of Guyana. Well done. All you want to vote again? All you really want to vote again? All you dip your finger for that miscreant? Really and truly? Really? Okay.
Hey, I love that man. Uncle Anati, I found out that that man is a member of parliament in the Trinidad government, in the Trinidad parliament. You know, that I don't think I can find another human being who can fight like that. You know, you can hear every word that man come out. Every word that comes out of my mouth. How he fighting for Trinidad. From Guyana's wealth. The man talking about Baba billions sit in Guyana. And because of he Prime Minister supported the coalition and don't like this present government, he didn't come to sit down with we government to eke out the Baba billions for he people. Oh my. I love that man. I'm going to Trinidad specially to spend an evening with that man, to have a dinner with him. I don't make contact with him, uncle. I'll have him live. I'll stream him live for you people on a program. The man said, he said, Miss Harris, Trinidad, 100 years in the oil and gas sector. Trinidad have engineers, all the oil and gas exports. And that man named Keith Rowley didn't come to Guyana to get jobs for his people. Man, oh my. Oh my. Man, what else can I say, Uncle and Auntie? You have heard him. You have heard how foreigners fighting, behaving, getting on for you wealth. And you sit down in your hammock rocking. Yes. Afraid that who will kill who. Man, well, let them kill Glenn Lall. Because me mounting a bottom and me still got strength in me. Although a sicker going to go out tomorrow again. The protest, I wanted to call it off. The people said, no, Glenn Lall, we are not stopping. So I have to go there tomorrow again. I will go as long as I got health and strength. I will fight this fight. I will fight this fight for my grandchildren. And I'll fight for your grandchildren too. But please, man, Y'all come out and join me, man. Come and stay 10 minutes now. Come and stay 20 minutes. Or send somebody to protest with us, man. Please, I am begging you. You don't have money. Come, we will give you the passage. Come. What else can I say for tonight? Huh? Look how people fighting with all this might that the man stuttering about the Baba billions Guyana has, in which he country can get. The man talked about how he people living in down South Trinidad, catching their ass to live, to eat. And he Prime Minister, not coming to Guyana for get some money for help feed he family. Man, and you people not saying anything.
And not just that they mismanaged the owner fighting for you.
Huh? Come on, man. Let me say namaste to you people tonight, and I'll see you guys on Friday. And I'll leave you back with that same Baba Billions. Listen back to him again. Listen to him again, please. Play it back for me, sir. Play back that thing. Once again, have a great evening. Go ahead.
Doubles and coffee. So our neighbors, Guyana, the whole world is fighting to get next to Guyana. Guyana, where the greatest resource base in the world has just been and continues to be discovered daily. Guyana, where billions of US dollars over the next decade is going to come out of the ground. Guyana, who's now moving into the realm of energy, natural gas and oil that we have been involved in for over 115 years. Trinidad and Tobago have been experts. We've developed a cadre of support industry, services, businesses, experts, engineers, chemical engineers. We know we have the people. Forget government, private sector. We have the people constructing platforms, drilling, experts. And because Keith Christopher Rowley, a childish, a puerile, immature, vindictive, narcissistic idiot, is in charge, and because he don't like the government that won the election, because he sent his people, Narciscope and Andrew Gabriel, across there to support the other team, to get involved in a nation's sovereign democratic election, one election that might go down in history as the greatest debacle in democracy in the Caribbean. And Rowley was on the wrong side. Rowley was invited by the government of Guyana to attend an energy conference. Guyana is energy. Guyana is the future. Guyana is where opportunities lay for our people. And because of one man's childish inability to accept losses, a man's vindictive, immature nature, all of us in Trinidad and Tobago, especially when we at our worst, our lowest ebb, our oil production is down, our gas production is ridiculous, our negotiated upstream price is making NGC make losses for the first time. The government has forced the board to ask for indemnities. The whistleblowers have been removed and PNM sycophants have replaced them. Our energy sector is in total shatters, tatters and gone. And Rowley does not have the maturity to go across to create opportunities for us, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Nobody cares if he as an individual is myopic, selfish. Nobody cares, but he's the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore, by his ignorance and vindictive nature, we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, the people who are in the oil and gas sector, the experts who would like to get opportunities over in Guyana to continue to thrive, to make profits and to create jobs, to create a symbiotic relationship between Guyana and Trinidad, our expert, our intellectual capital, we have less opportunity, if not no opportunity, because of our leaders, our prime ministers' vindictive, disrespectful nature. And how much of this are y'all going to take? So that man watching billions of dollars for you down in the Southwest Peninsula, you down in San Fernando, you in the fence line communities after he shut down Petrotrain, and he shut down those opportunities because he disrespected the government of Guyana. Well done. All you want to vote again? All you really want to vote again? All you dip your finger for that miscreant? Really and truly? Really? Okay.